If you died tomorrow, would you truly be satisfied with the life you've lived so far? Don't answer too quickly. Take a deep breath. Feel the air in your lungs and look at your hands. If your heart stopped beating in the next 60 seconds, would you feel peace, or would a cold, suffocating wave of regret wash over you? I'm Dr. Thomas Sterling. I'm 75 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you, something that might even make you angry. Everything you think you know about getting older, about success, and about what it means to make it is a complete and utter lie. The worst part is, the people who should be telling you the truth, your parents, your teachers, the society you live in, they're either lying to your face or they're just as clueless as you were when I was young. I spent the first 52 years of my life believing those same fairy tales. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the prestigious career as a neurosurgeon, the 10-bedroom mansion, and the forced respect of my peers. I was the success story everyone pointed to. But at age 52, something happened that shattered my reality into a million jagged pieces. What I discovered in the 23 years since that day has completely dismantled how I see life, death, and every hollow achievement in between. I'm making this video because I am running out of time. There are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for my sake, but for yours. Because once the clock stops, you can't negotiate for even one more second. At 52, my heart finally decided it had seen enough of my arrogance. It tried to kill me. I remember that Tuesday morning like it was etched into my brain. The boardroom air was stale, smelling of bitter coffee and expensive suits. I was in the middle of a heated debate over surgical profit margins, my ego screaming louder than anyone else's. Suddenly, the room started to spin. The faces of my colleagues became distorted shadows. The next thing I remember is waking up in a hospital bed with tubes snaking out of my arms and a machine beeping a rhythm I couldn't control. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky? I had just come face to face with my own mortality, and they called it luck. But lying in that bed, staring at the gray ceiling tiles, I realized something terrifying. I had been living my entire life on autopilot. I wasn't really alive. I was just a high-performance machine going through the motions, checking boxes, and meeting the expectations of a world that didn't truly care about me. I turned my head and saw my wife Martha crying in the corner. In that moment, a gut-wrenching horror hit me. I realized I didn't know the woman sitting there. We shared a house and a last name, but we were strangers. I had spent 30 years climbing a ladder, obsessed with the view from the top, only to realize that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Success, as the world defines it, is a terrible goal. It's a hamster wheel that promises a finish line that doesn't exist. That was the diagnosis I couldn't surgery my way out of. Let me tell you about a man who changed me more than any medical textbook. We called him Patient 402. He was a billionaire who owned half the skyline. He was 60 years old, but his eyes looked 100 years old. He had a terminal brain tumor, a ticking time bomb I couldn't defuse. He offered me $5 million in cash just to give him 6 more months of life. He said, "Dr. Sterling, my daughter is getting married in June. I just want to see her walk down the aisle. I'll give you everything I have for just 24 more weeks." I had to tell him that all his millions couldn't buy him a single extra heartbeat. He broke down and sobbed. He told me he bought his daughter every toy she ever wanted, but he never once sat on the floor and played with her. He was too busy building an empire she would now inherit without him. He died 3 weeks later. At his funeral, the eulogies were about his business, but his daughter looked like she was mourning a stranger. This is the trap. We work 70-hour weeks to build businesses we'll never enjoy, to buy houses we're too tired to live in, and to impress people who will forget our names 5 minutes after we're buried. Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about failed deals. They'll be about the life you never actually lived while you were busy being successful. The biggest lie you are telling yourself right now is this: I have time. You think happiness is something you can deposit now and withdraw when you're 65, but the goalposts always move. You get the promotion, and suddenly you need more money and have even less time. I was the master of later, especially with my father. He died when I was 45. I was always too busy for him. I kept thinking we'd have time to talk when I was less stressed. Heart attack. Gone within hours. My biggest regret isn't a surgery I failed. It's all the Sundays I didn't call him because I was too tired. After he passed, I found a stack of letters he wrote to me. Letters he never sent because he didn't want to interrupt my important work. You think you have unlimited time with the people you love. You don't. One day, that clock will run out. Stop waiting for the perfect time. If you wait, you'll wake up one day and realize you've waited your entire life away. In these last 23 years, I've learned more about life than in the previous 52. What matters is embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love, work that feels meaningful, and being present. I'm not saying quit your job, but don't sacrifice what matters for what doesn't. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied? If the answer is no, what are you waiting for? Most young people think they are invincible, but you are on borrowed time. I look at my grandchildren and they are making the same mistakes. Stressed, anxious, chasing things that won't make them happy. I'm making this video so maybe, just maybe, someone will listen and make different choices. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Start calling your parents. Start taking the trips. Start now, not next year, because the perfect time will never come. Life is messy, but it is precious. If this resonates, share this video. Leave a comment and tell me what you are going to do differently. Subscribe because I don't have much time left, but I have truths to share. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time?